Hello everyone, today we are going to share with you our group presentation, which is titled Toyota's Lean Culture and its Global Expansion. Here are our team members, 李云涛、周丽晶、陈雪莹、顾学华。Next page. This case was written by James and Jones in 2013 to explore how Toyota transferred lean production system including Toyota Way and Toyota Production System TPS from Japan to India. The focus was placed on the challenges of adaptation to a different natural context, the implications for human resource management and cross-cultural leadership were also highlighted. Next page. Prior to this expansion, Toyota's core management approach has been deeply rooted in the Toyota Way as an integration of long-term philosophy, a right pursuit, creating value by developing people, and also continual problem solving. In Pacific, the HR practice and countered on lifetime employment, team-based performance, and employee training. However, during the implementation in India, Toyota had to adjust its hierarchical structure and communication style to better meet and even exceed Indian customer expectation of authority. For example, TKM has finally acknowledged an existence of external audience. Next page. Toyota's expansion into India was a challenge to its traditional HR practice. Cultural difference can greatly affect employee motivation and teamwork. HR had to adapt recruitment, training, and performance management to meet Indian values like hierarchy and relationship.
Okay, now let's from next page. It's about management and leadership theories in context. Transformational leadership is a highly relevant theory in this case, as it emphasizes vision, inspiration, and employee development. It can inspire employees' enthusiasm and creativity through its influence. So it is considered suitable for scenarios where the organization faces major changes or needs organizational innovation. In the case of Toyota entering India from Japan, transformational leadership is reflected in the following aspects. The first one is vision adaptation. Toyota aims to inspire employees globally through the universal vision of the Toyota Way. However, this vision clashed with Indian cultural values like family loyalty, flexible problem solving. Later adjustments, such as adopting the Toyota India production system, demonstrated adaptive vision refinement, attempting to align global ideas with local norms. This reflects transformational leadership, emphasizes on refining visions to resonate the diverse contexts. The second one is post-crisis trust building and union recognition. Initially, Toyota overlooked Indian employees' social cultural needs, for example, like family, work balance, task balance, reception of tasks. After repeat strikes, Toyota recognized external union and improvable labor relations. This shift from confrontation to collaboration highlighted trust building for foster employee participation. A transformational leadership trait, albeit delayed and reactive. The third one is strategic reflection and learning. Following a decade of struggles, Toyota launched a jump decade plan and replaced leadership. This strategy is reflection and adaptation aligned with transformational leadership, focused on learning and innovation. Next one is situational leadership. Situational leadership can also be used to expand the necessity of leaders adjusting style based on the followers' readiness. Meanwhile, situational leadership mainly includes four main leadership styles: telling, selling, participating, and delegating. This flexible leadership style is suitable for scenarios with complex personal composition, diverse workplaces, and work tasks. Specifically, Toyota firstly early adopted mentoring leadership to help the employee understand and master the core philosophy and operational method of TPS. Then, as TKM grew, it began to adopt an empowering leadership style based on more employee autonomy and decision-making power. But last but not the least, in the face of cultural conflict and labor conflict, Toyota began to adopt a supportive leadership style through positive communication and feedback to enhance employees' sense of belonging and loyalty. All the above actions has ensured that the employees' needs are always the top priority in leadership practices, and more importantly, the situational leadership can generally work to adapt to a new environment. It is clear that Toyota in India exemplified these theories mainly by adapting its management to motivate and mentor India employees while still pursuing key lean principles. Next page. Okay, this page is about diffusion of innovation and cross-border leadership. Rogers' diffusion of innovation theory posed by American sociologist Everett and Roger in 1962. This theory explained how innovations, for example, like product, technologies, ideas, spread and are adopted within social system and are used here to explain how lean leadership were introduced and accepted in India. In specific, adoption was facilitated through internal training, knowledge transfer, and visible leadership commitment. Meanwhile, cross-border leadership requires sufficient sensitivity to local culture or social norms, continuous communication, and on that basis, the process of incorporating local managers into the decision-making process. Now we can see there are, based on the adoption speed, adopters are divided into five groups. The first one is innovators, it's about 2.5%. It is risk takers who explore new ideas. The second one is earlier adopters. It's about 13.5%. It's opinion leaders who influence others. The third one is early majorities. It's about 34%. It is pragmatic followers rely on social proof. The fourth one is late majority. It's also about 34%. Skeptics who adapt for after mainstream acceptance. The last one is laggards. It's about 16%. It is traditionalist, resistant to change. Next one.
According to Hofstede's cultural dimensions theory, Japan and India share significant contrasts across the 6 cultural dimensions. In terms of power distance, Indians go 77, indicating a high power distance culture where social hierarchy is accepted and authority and hierarchy are obsessed. Japan, with a score of 54, represents a moderate power distance, placing more importance on collaboration and collective decision-making. Regarding individualism, India scores 24, reflecting a strongly collectivist society that values family ties and group responsibilities. Japan, with a score of 62, represents a form of collectivism that incorporates individual responsibility within the group. In the masculinity dimension, Japan scores an extremely high 95, reflecting a culture driven by strong competitiveness and achievement orientation. India, with a score of 56, displays a more moderate approach, focusing on balancing social relationships with personal goals. When it comes to uncertainty avoidance, Japan's goals 92, showing a strong reliance on rules planning structure to manage uncertainty. In contrast, Indians' goals 14 reflects greater adaptability and a higher tolerance for ambiguity and unpredictability. In terms of long-term orientation, Japan demonstrates a strong future-oriented mindset with an emphasis on long-term planning and perseverance. India with a score of 51%, a balance between traditional values and pragmatic adaptation. Finally, in the industries with restrict dimension, both countries learn toward restrict. Japan scores 42 and India 26, indicating a shared emphasis on self-discipline and adherence to social norms. Overall, Japanese culture emphasizes roles, competitiveness, and long-term planning, while Indian culture highlights stronger hierarchical values, adaptability, and traditional beliefs. This cultural difference suggests that Toyota needs to adopt an adaptive leadership approach to effectively bridge the cultural gap. Next. Leadership is a cross-border setting must deal with cultural complexity. India is a more hierarchical and a more relationships orientations, while Japan differently values efficiency and roles. This means Toyota's leaders had to adopt culturally intelligent practices. Examples include 1. Showing humility, 2. Building trust, and 3. Showing patience with a learning curve of local teams. Such shifts can convince the adaptive leadership in international HR context. Next. In an Indian context, the employee typically expects clear, defined guidance, authority, and relationships with their supervisors. In contrast, Japanese employees may focus more on consensus, discipline, and continuous improvements in process. Toyota had to learn from and adapt to this difference through structured feedback, balancing between participating and directive leadership styles, and if necessary, offering incentives.
As for challenges, Toyota has faced a significant difference in industrial relations between India and Japan. The contrast in decision-making process has posed a major obstacle to smooth cooperation between management, population, and employees. Moreover, there are also the difference existing in work ethics and motivation, as was also reflected in the analysis above. The difference between Japan and India in terms of trade union recognition mechanism are also one of the challenges. Remarkable difference can also be found. Firstly, in view of industrial relations, labor relations in Japan are relatively stable, and the employees are highly loyal to the company. Industrial relations in India are characterized by diversity and complexity, and unstable. India decision-making often center on few stakeholders, which means lower level of worker engagement. Japan emphasized involvement and long-term employment. In view of work ethics, in Japan there is a strong, lasting emphasis on loyalty, long-term employment relationships, and in this, equally strong sense of responsibility for the company. However, there is a more flexible schedule and accordingly more varied work attitude in India. As for recognition of trade union, Japan not too aggressive, inclined to cooperate with employees rather than confrontation. India more confrontational. Strikes are frequent. These points make it necessary and essential to design and implement solutions for Toyota to finally succeed in the India market. As for solutions, firstly, establish a culture of long-term cooperation, respect for trade union, and an understanding of employment practice. Teach Japanese employees about India's flexible culture. Teach Indian employees to understand Japan's procedures and consensus. In Japan, belonging and responsibility is emphasized. In India, freedom and shipment is emphasized. Maintain a symbiotic relationship with company in Japan. Reinventing the public image in India. Emphasizing functions such as upskilling employees and assisting with career development. In short, continuous international expansion can bring greater profit margin to the organization, but it also faces challenges in cultural difference and diversity management. Through these measures, it is believed that Toyota will be able to achieve the outcomes and the cultural mix and improve productivity in the future. Next page. To sum up, the case shows how cultural sensitivity is required as part of effective international leadership, as well as strategic HRM adaptation and flexible approach to organizational values across borders like Japan and India. Meanwhile, looking back on our group, we adopted a shared leadership model. This means we close to rotate tasks and use emotional intelligence principles to work effectively. More importantly, we have learned directly from the teamwork principles observed in the case of Toyota. Next page. And then is a reference list. Let's watch our team report. Thank you.